Welcome back to the channel. Racer X here, and today's video kind of short and sweet, but I do want to talk a little bit about buying a car. Many of you have been asking me, Racer X, where is the best place to buy a car? What kind of car, can I get a good deal on? There's so many questions out there with the automotive world being turned on its head in terms of just prices of vehicles, how far up they are because of inflation. I've talked about it at length. Everybody's wondering, well, where can I find the best deal if I'm really wanting to buy a car right now? Well, I did some research, and the results might actually shock you quite a bit. I really never thought I would be saying maybe some of these places to go buy a car. It should be a fun one. Also, if you're new to my channel, please do me a big, gigantic favor. There is a subscribe button located right down here in the corner. If you're on PC, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel. I have so many cool things planned for this year going into next year. A lot of neat things for the channel coming. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Now, this is another one of those videos where I really had to put my thinking cap on. So I wanted to come inside, do a lot of research, which I have done, and be very fair and impartial when I kind of give you my opinion on where the best place to buy a car is. As we know, the demand for cars is still sky high. Despite all the inflation and all the other factors working against us, people still want to buy these vehicles. We know we're transitioning over to the EVs and all that stuff that's happening right now. But by and large, people still want to buy fun, high-performance cars. And so, how do you keep from getting gouged? Because dealerships are taking full advantage of the fact that they have very little inventory. Cars are hard to get. The microchip shortage thing has not changed. So, where do you go? What is the best source to find really good cars at a good deal? Well, the first thing you want to do is jump onto sites like AutoTrader, certainly Car Gurus. Those are my really two staple sites. Also, you can go to like cars.com. There's several other ones that you can go to, but there's a lot of different sources to go in and actually look for the deals on cars. And the great thing is a lot of those sites have tools that will tell you, hey, this is a decent deal, this is a good deal, this is a great deal. And so sometimes that will help you kind of understand. A lot of it's going to depend on trim level, just how rare the car is. There's a ton of factors that go into it. But if you start out with really those three sites, and almost every dealership advertises their cars on those sites with the exception of one, which I'll cover. And so you can really get on there and do a ton of work right from home and figure out, what kind of car you want, what sort of trim you want, the make, obviously all that good stuff. It's all right here at your fingertips without driving all over the entire city looking. So as I jump in here and try and do some actual research on different cars, different prices, if there's one place that seems to be better than the rest, I did find some interesting patterns. So for example, I went to my old faithful AutoTrader, been using it for years and years and years, been around forever. And they have some pretty cool tools. So I actually searched for Corvette Z06s. So C7 Z06s from 2017 to 2020 is actually what I put in here. And we know the price of those is up quite a bit. I mean, used cars are up 41% from 1 year ago. That is a very interesting stat I put out there a little while ago. But as I look down through here, I'm seeing several. I'll put some screenshots up there for you. But by and large, whenever it tells me there's a great price on a vehicle, I do commonly see that it is from Carvana of all places. And it used to be where places like Carvana were not really the best place to get a deal. But truth be told, I mean, you can sit here and look down the row of all these Z06s, and almost every time you see a listing for Carvana, it says great price right next to it. AutoTrader does have that neat tool where it'll tell you if it's a decent price, an okay price. And while sometimes you do see things that say, hey, good price here and there, as you go down and you start to look, I mean, not only do they have a lot of inventory in terms of colors, different trim levels, all that kind of stuff, but almost every time you see an ad from Carvana, it says great price next to it. And they do take into account, the trim level, the mileage, the condition, all of that kind of stuff. It's all right there for you. So just a really weird thing for me to say this, but believe it or not, Carvana is actually a great place to buy a performance car right now. I mean, very rarely do you ever see on AutoTrader or any of these other sites where you get on there and see one from Carvana that is not listed as something that says great price next to it. So food for thought. Now, I will freely admit, I am not the sort of guy who likes buying a car sight unseen. It makes me a little bit comfortable. I'm the sort of person that wants to get in, look at it in person, see the condition of it. Are there scratches? How does it sound? How does it drive? All that kind of stuff. That's just kind of how I am. But the truth is, you can kind of do that at just about any dealership. And I've driven enough cars to know kind of what I like and what I don't like. But the great thing about Carvana is not only will they deliver it to you, but it says right here on this ad that they do a 7-day money-back guarantee within 400 miles. So you can put 400 miles on the thing and tell them to come get it if you don't like it, and they'll refund all of your money. Also, they don't charge a bunch of those crazy, stupid, bogus fees that a lot of dealerships will do. A lot of dealerships will actually tell you to come on in. You see a price online, and then all of a sudden they add a bunch of different weird fees, you know, a pinstripe fee or nitrogen tire fee and all sorts of weird garbage fees, but they simply don't do that here. I mean, you see the price there, and that's the price they give you. Like I said, they're going to deliver it to your house. They do the inspection on the vehicle to make sure that the vehicle is healthy and happy. Really, everything that you can do, including financing, you can do through Carvana. So, like I said, I don't work for these guys, never bought a car with them, but I mean, the deal is right there. I mean, you can literally go online on AutoTrader, Car Gurus, and you can look right at what they have. Big inventory and, you know, a lot of different neat features about Carvana. So I gotta, you know, hand it to them. Now, just for reference, I went ahead and searched a different car. I kind of left the years the same, but instead I went ahead and put in Challenger Scat Packs. And here we have a perfect example. Once again, when you look at the Carvana listings, almost every one of them says great price. And I do realize maybe this varies slightly depending upon what region you're from, certainly what part of the country, maybe a little bit, but by and large, if you see a Carvana car, it's going to tell you that the price is extremely fair, if not really good. And like I said, here we have another example, just another car. And I actually went in and searched a bunch of other cars, Mustang GT. I even looked up Dodge Vipers. Who knew they had that, right? But I looked up SRT Jeeps, a whole bunch of them, and just about the same thing all the way across the board. So if you're looking for a new car, it's so weird to say this, but don't look past Carvana, I should say used car, but look at Carvana's website, or you can just go right on AutoTrader, Car Gurus, all of them. They list their stuff on all of those sites, and you can get probably one of the best deals out there with these guys. So I just want to put it out there. Now, the other place that I want to mention may catch you even more off guard, and it's one that in the past I really did not like at all. But right now, with everything being turned on its head, prices going crazy, dealers gouging just like crazy, these cars, these performance cars are just so hard to get. Believe it or not, CarMax is one of the best places you can go to get a good deal on a used performance car. I just, it shudders me to think about it because I was never a huge fan. I used to actually call them rip-off Max. I hate to say that, but I just never looked at CarMax very favorably in the past. I always kind of felt like maybe they were a little overpriced. With everything being completely turned all the way around, believe it or not, they have some of the best deals out there. Now, here's the thing with CarMax is you have to go directly to their website to really see a lot of their cars. Most of the time, they're not going to put their cars on Car Gurus or AutoTrader or CarWow, any of those ones that I was talking about before. They kind of just do their own thing. But as you compare the prices, I'm literally looking at the exact same cars. They have pretty competitive pricing. I mean, right there with cars. Maybe sometimes even a little bit better. And with CarMax, you go in, I mean, you can see the car there in person. They'll also transfer the car from a different location for a small fee. So there is that as well. And a lot of times they'll let you do like 48-hour test drives and stuff like that. I think you can ask them about it, but they'll actually let you drive the car for a while. And if you don't like it, you bring it back. It's just one way they do it. And they also do the in-house financing and all that kind of stuff. So really it's two sources that I never thought I would tell you to go look at, or that I would recommend. Those are where you're finding the deals right now. I do also want to mention, this doesn't mean that you won't find a really good deal at your local dealership. It also doesn't mean you're going to find necessarily the exact lowest price on that car. But if you're looking for pretty much the most fair deal, the most consistent deal out there, those are the two places that I would recommend, Carvana and CarMax both. They have a lot of kind of built-in things for the consumer to kind of help you when you're buying. Both of them also take trades if you're interested in doing it that way as well. But yeah, that is my recommendation. It's just so weird for me to say it, but it is CarMax, Carvana. Look at them online, guys. Use the tools that you have available right here at your fingertips. The car buying world has changed so much. Everything is really kind of being done online. I talked about it just the other day in terms of like so many cars are being sold before they even arrive at the dealership anyway because they're so sought after. Well, now most car salesmen are going to almost like a full online model. And that's sort of just a sign of the times. So at any rate, get on there, do your research, see if you agree with what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'd love to hear your comments down below. So please let me know what you think about what I've talked about here. If you have a better suggestion for the best place to buy a car consistently at a low price, I would love to hear it. So at any rate, guys, I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.